Hello and welcome back to Ghostwire Tokyo. So, this is probably gonna be the last episode. Like, it really feels like it. Um, I could be completely wrong. But yeah, here we are. Uh, we fell, I guess. I don't really know, but we down here. We were at the Tokyo Tower, did some stuff, beat some bosses. But yeah, now we're here. We can't use any powers right now, but I guess that's fine. But yeah, I don't know how much left. Could be very short, but there could also be a good amount left. Like, this is a new chapter, technically. Now we're in the hospital. You can't still look at this. Like, this is chapter 6. Chapter 5 was really just like one big mission. Like, so I don't know what that really means in terms of chapters at this point in the game. I still have some points I could spend, but yeah, doesn't really matter at this point. Probably Mary's. Honestly. that would make the most sense. We can't run, by the way. I'm trying. We're running in the hospital. Got all this black stuff around. Oh, this is find the past? Okay. Sound like... yeah. Okay. Maybe this is actually ours, Agito's? Hmm. Not much to look at here. Yeah, okay. So I was wrong, it's definitely your memories, not Marie's, but you know. First instinct. Where am I supposed to be going? Oh, here we go. Got this weird door. Outside somewhere. Can run again. Kids are going to school. Well, this isn't what I was expecting that we were gonna start with, but alright, sure. With my flashlight, it's very dark. Doesn't really do a good job here, huh? On the train. Dead Bank District. That is a name. Drank. I don't know. Feels like you were stretching to get that 3D iteration thing or whatever. Can't run again. Just walking. Said it before, but the details they have in this game, you know, just for these things, you know, which you typically would just look past and, you know, just go through. But you put so much detail into all of it, you know. I kind of feel like I want to look at it, you know, at least a little bit of it. That's one thing I can definitely say, that they did not skim on the details in this game. It really feels like a, you know, a city, like Tokyo, I suppose. But then I wouldn't know what it feels like to be in Tokyo, but this is, you know, I imagine something like this, you know, but with less ghosts. Hospital again. It's the same photon, these are these. So I don't know. Oh, there's one over there as well, it's the same. It's fine. Some things, you know. I mean, we're in a weird space. Maybe it's intentional. Nope, I guess they attacked us. Okay. I feel like you just let this play out, you know? Definitely one of those moments where I feel like it's just saying nothing, you just let it do its thing. That's the thing about Let's Playing. You gotta talk and Let's Play. Even at moments that are supposed to be pretty, you know, you're supposed to take them in. Getting all the things though, in case I need more food. I don't know. We might have a big fight. I mean, I would assume we will. Hmm. Centigrade. Yeah. Try not to cry. it's, uh, it's a bit much to start the day off with. Not what I was expecting we were gonna be doing. Oh no, I'm getting teary-eyed. Oh man. God. Ah man. You know, I said, you know, how I was not feeling as connected to Agito and, you know, the plot and everything. Then you throw this at you by the end, huh? Jeez, man. That making me care. This is just... Ah, my eyes. They burn. Ah. Does not help. Ah. Jeez. Okay. Just gotta move on. I'm getting teary-eyed here. It's getting to me. Stupid video games. Always tugging at the heartstrings, you know. The weird thing is that I do keep talking, man. The weird thing is that I can't completely relate, you know. Like, I don't have any dead relatives, you know, like, not that close anyway, you know. Like, it's been, you know, I've been relatively lucky not having had many major deaths in my family, but I think that it's gonna be more likely, you know, as I and D get older, you know, especially grandparents and everything, you know. I'm pretty sure I talked about it at some point in another video in some series that, you know, my grandma have had health issues, and you know she's under, you know, she's doing better, but that doesn't mean she, you know, doesn't need help. You know, she has, you know, a home nurse or whatever, you know, like to help her sometimes and things like that, you know. And you know, she struggles, and like she's a fighter. You know, and I hope I have at least, you know, you know, 10, 15 years, like she's like 80 something now, I think. So, you know, that's that, and it definitely made me feel things, you know, like last year. I was like, man, this is you know, this is real, you know, like she's struggling, you know, she had like some kinda like I think it was like some kinda cancer, blood cancer sort of thing. They were like checking that, and it's like apparently it's not like that bad, but she still needs, you know, meds and things, and like, yeah, I don't know. They got it early, I guess, but I don't know. Yeah, that's sad too, and it's that feeling of like not knowing. Sorry, I'm talking about this. But you know, when media just throws like reality at you like that, you start thinking about it all, and it's tough, man. I don't know. We never quite know what's gonna happen. Could be an accident, illness, whatever else. Just passage of life happening, you know. And it's rough, especially when you can do very little about it. But we're really going everywhere. Where are we now, in the mountain? Yeah.
大丈夫だ。マリに会わないと。そうだ。守りたいものを守る。もう逃げない。
But let's play this video game. Let's play this video game. Guess I'm pretty glad I stopped last time, because man, if I had gone on with this, you know, it almost been 20 minutes actually. It would have actually taken a while. I would not have time to do this for sure. But also, emotionally speaking, I don't know if that was what I was prepared for on that day, considering in a way I was running out of time. Are we back where we started, or no? Just in the cave, I guess. Alright, well.
あいつもお前の妹もこの中だ。準備はいいか。
Well, let's see what's gonna happen now. Are we just going to fight straight up, or I don't know. We got Ghostwire. I mean, honestly though.
家族の晴れの門出を静かに見守ってやることもできない哀れな者たち。確かめに来た。マリの意志を邪魔はさせない。物言わぬ彼女の願いを君がどう知るという。やめろ
We think bigger quest than this. Like, why you have to talk to me so much? Good old cutscene magic. Like, I could take care of these pretty easily. That was funny. Well, but either you're weaker in gameplay than you are in cutscenes, or it's the complete opposite, you know? There's barely ever any that match the same power level. It's really weird how that works always.
あとは最後の仕上げだ。時よ、止まれ。なんだこれは。
Flowers. Okay. Oh.
彼女が起こしている。いや、それでも儀式は止められない。
Whoops. Shouldn't have stepped there. And there isn't going to be a boss. I mean, he just kind of fell into the underworld.
マリー、
お兄ち
She's alive.
ゃん、ありがとう。
My wife's back there. She's alive. Oh god.
ごめん。俺ずっと謝りたくて。
知ってるよ。だから私死ねなかった。お兄ちゃんのせいじゃない。あの時私これを。何？お母さんたちが残してくれた思い出。どうしても置いていけなかった。
マリー、
お兄ちゃんは生きて。
俺
最後に本当の気持ち話せてよかった。
Oh. I thought so. You don't just fall into the underworld and, you know, that's the final bad guy. That's too easy.
功だ。やはり私は間違っていなかった。二つの世界は今つながったのだ。人々の魂は肉体から解き放たれ浄化される。私と私の家族は再び一つとなる。失うことも悲しむこともない。永遠の楽園で。
終わらせるぞ、アキト。
ああ、これが本当の最後だ。
Hey, you. That's a lot of teeth. Okay. Very dark. Can't see a lot. Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm out of that already. Okay. Didn't hit me at all though. Yeah. Oh, out. The bases look like you need to be hit. Okay. Ow. Maybe I should block that. I mean, got like things on them. Okay. Let me heal first. I mean, yeah, that is what I was doing. I should fold though. Block. Yeah. Got similar moves to mine. Ow. Oh, got to go. Gotta heal up. Might as well heal up. Get all the stuff here. Look at all those goodies. One fell swoop achievement. Guess I just got like 5 at once. I think I have to write on 5, you know. Otherwise. Typical fish whale. Way you move. Okay. Grab you. All the goodies. Let's do this again. Hi. A little bit stronger now. I don't know if my special move is worth using against you. Maybe I should try it. I don't know. Give it a go. Maybe it goes faster. Oh, that's it. Okay. Alright. There we go. do feel like I am overpowered. I don't know. Bosses have not really been a big deal because I feel like I'm so powerful, but you know, it's
捕らえ
fine.
られていた魂だ。
じゃあこの人たちは。
ああ、魂と肉体が切り離されていただけだからな。自分に戻るはずだ。
でもアリは。
Unless, maybe. Hi, friend. I don't know about those weird
母
masks.
さん。
Okay, I was wondering if it was their parents. Sure, those weird mask things mean something. I couldn't tell you what. I guess he's
父さんの命日
gone, huh?
12月10日。母さんは6月9日。忘れてない。一度だって忘れたことなんてない。もう平気なふりなんてしないよ。泣いてもみっともなくても僕は生きていく。またな。次に会うのは俺が最後の最後まで生き抜いた後だ。
家族の前でようやく素直になれたってわけか。
黙ってたと思ったらまだそんな。
最後に一つだけ頼みたいことがある。
うん。
妻と息子に伝えてほしい。俺は最後まで諦めずに生き抜いたと。
分かった。必ず伝える。
悪いな、使いっ走り頼んじまって。自分で行ければいいんだが、ちょっと疲れちまったんだな。
ケイケイ。
アキト、もう取りつかれんなよ。死神は俺みたいにいいやつじゃねえからな。
なんだよそれ。勝手に取り付いておいて礼ぐらい言えよ。
Just you can hear the cat purring right now. He's really purring. Good guy. At least this is a cutscene moment so I can pet you. Yeah.
ケイケイ。
Kitty, don't nuzzle the mic. Okay. Is that it? Alright. I don't know who Robert Altman is. Doesn't sound like Japanese, so I don't know. I mean, it is, yeah, Bethesda. It could be a Bethesda person, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know. Oh man, still getting a little teary-eyed. Well, oh man, fuck my eyes. Why you gotta do this game? Yeah, I mean, despite never really feeling like I was super engaged in the story, still felt like the ending here, you know? Getting tears in my mouth now because it's all salty. Why? I don't even know why I'm crying. You know, it's so weird how certain things make you feel that way. Oh, kitty jumped. But I don't know. This got me. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I guess, you know, death is one of those things that, you know, everybody can relate to, in a way. You know, everybody can, everybody can, at the very least, you know, it's inevitable for everyone, obviously. So, something you have to think about at some point. And yeah, I don't know. The way that this ending part just, it got to me, you know? I don't know why. Because truly, as I said, I don't have much of a connection or, like, feeling, you know, towards the characters that much. Like, compared to many games I played, you know. Like, this game was not really about the story for me as much, you know? Like, at many points I really felt like I was just not paying as much attention or, you know, things like that. Like, I was just like, okay, sure, this is what's happening, you know? But it's not like I was engaged. And, I don't know. I don't think it was completely terrible, you know? I don't think that's true at all. But, like, I really have nothing to say about the villain, you know? Like, there's just not enough there for me to really go into, I feel. And you know, Agito is mostly generic, and you know, I don't know. KK has some, you know, some personal stuff he deals with, but he's very closed off. I think that's the problem, is that even when there's some story bits and some character bits, it's like, he don't say a lot, he don't go into it a lot. I don't know if that's a writing or directing problem, or if it's more of a cultural problem. Or not, I wouldn't say problem, but you know what I mean. Like certain Japanese media I can feel like some of it the way they write some characters the make them, I don't know, not closed off necessarily, but just less eager to express themselves as much, if that makes sense. Like either it's like completely over the top, very anime, dramatic, yelling, things like that, like wearing the emotion on the sleeve, or it's like there's nothing at all. It is completely closed off, almost, and there's like very little. I feel like there's not many times I feel like it's in between, and I don't know if that's a cultural thing or just what the media I've consumed of Japanese media, but I don't know. That's just what it feels like sometimes. So fucking sniffly and it sucks. I gotta wipe my fucking nose and everything and shit after that. Oh god. Should be glad there's no face cam because I would look like a mess. Yeah. But yeah, But can I say this is the worst story in the universe or that I didn't care at all? No. And I feel like the game, if that was the case, I wouldn't have teared up and gone all snotty here at the end or anything. Like there's moments in the game that work. There's moments that that I enjoy in terms of that of story and but I think that's like my main thing I want to say about it because in terms of gameplay and things, it's I wouldn't say it's like amazing gameplay in terms of like combat gameplay specifically. It's interesting because it is not just a first-person shooter. Despite being a first-person, the gameplay feels so strange and different from most first-person shooters would. So I wouldn't call it that at all. Um, and I think the thing is that there's just not really incentive to do anything other than just use your regular, shots. They give you the talismans you want you to use, but I never felt like it was needed. You can, counter enemy attacks sometimes, but it's rarely ever super needed. Like, it's only if I'm really in a bind I'm doing that. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's serviceable. It's fine. I never felt like it was like completely just boring, but I never felt like it was like completely, groundbreaking. Oh really, Tokyo Tower. I guess you might have had to get licensed to use that. I don't know how that works, but maybe. I'm not really sure. I mean, I feel like most things in the game are made to be as generic as possible because, obviously they had to do that if they're gonna make a real location. They can't just plaster on the real world places, especially, people's homes and, certain buildings and shops and things. Anyway. But like, yeah. It's an open world game, as I've said many times before, and because of that, the exploration is what you're doing most of the time. Running around, finding things, doing side quests, collecting things. And it does that. And a lot of times, I am, wanting to do that. Like, I spend a lot of time in the game just wandering around and finding things and just running to place just to do stuff. And I feel like, especially early on, I felt like I was getting very little done because I was just doing it a lot. The more I got into the game, the more I was, learning what I should prioritize in things. But as only episodes, as I've said, that I feel like very little got done because of the way the game is structured. That's not the game's fault. That's just, that's playing and things like that, Open world games are not always the best to do as a let's play, especially this kind. But you know, it's a game I want to play. It's a game that I had been curious about, for a while, and I never heard anyone really talk about it. It kind of came out and just kind of disappeared. I don't know. I mean, this was like, what was this? 2020, 2021. So clearly, yeah, things were happening in the world that made certain games just kind of like not as not really thought about as much, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. That's not the studio's fault in any way. But yeah. But like visually and like again, as I've said, the details and the visuals, like, while nothing is like completely like groundbreaking graphic wise, even for like 2021, it's good, and obviously if I had a better computer, it would look slightly better, but it runs well, plays well, despite being an open world big game like this. Some games can definitely run worse when it's a game like that, but this does it well, and everything looks nice and smooth, and so that's that. But it's not like completely groundbreaking in any way, like, but it looks nice. Man, credits are so long for games like this. Like, they have so much credits for this. Well, at the very least, I can say that it was a good decision to stop last time, because we are posting 50 minutes here, I mean, this is including credits, but I always want to talk over the credits and see my thoughts. I don't know how much is left here, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much else I have to say, because I feel like I said most I had to say throughout the series, which tends to happen, I try to keep most thoughts to the end of the series, but sometimes there is parts where I need to kind of say something, I feel. But yeah. I don't know. Like, in terms of like mission design and like quest design, there are definitely, those side quests that are just like very basic and kind of nothingness to them, like just go here and defeat some guys for a while. And lot of open world games have very simplistic side quests like that. I'm glad that there are a few that stand out, like especially the school one, that one was very interesting and fun. And some main quests are a little bit less interesting than others, but we had some interesting ones, like I like whenever they, do this weird crazy space time world, whatever you want to call what it's called. I don't know, different dimension or like warp reality or something. I like when they do that. I feel like I would love to see more of that. Going to like, when we went to the forest, or went to the past, or there's like certain things to do that like I wish there was a little bit more of that. Like, I don't mind the fact that it's mostly in the city. I mean, it's literally called Ghostwire Tokyo. If you didn't expect it to be in Tokyo, then, well, you know. But at some point the city becomes the city, and there's not really much to say about it other than that. That is the thing you kind of run into when you make a game set in a big city. A lot of it looks the same. Even if it's Tokyo, which, is very diverse in terms of, locations and culture stuff. Like, they have big old giant buildings, but they also have shrines and, more homey, suburbia areas. It's it's a big city. It's the big city. Like, isn't it like the most populous city in the world? I think that's the case. I don't think it's the biggest in terms of like area or whatever, but I think it's like the most populous. I forgot how that is, but something like that. So yeah, it's the funny thing about setting it in Tokyo and it being the whole point being that there's no people around, does make it the vibe feel interesting. Just this empty city. Oh, not a song. Still going, huh? Taylor Funk. I just thought that name was like, it's a great last name. Imagine being named Funk as your last name. Anyway, but yeah, just this empty city with no people and everything is abandoned. But it's not like a post-apocalyptic, like everything is broken down. It's still looks like a modern city. It's just nobody's there. I do wonder, this was again, as I said, this came out. I think was it 2020 or 2021? I forgot if it was. I think it was 2021 actually. But yeah, it still like came out around the time. So it is kind of interesting. That it's like this city, this that's completely abandoned, and it's like, oh, how did people feel about this when it came out? Relating to the pandemic. I do wonder. I don't know how much Tokyo was affected in that way. Like a city as big as that, I feel like it's probably like I don't know. I wonder. Like I know some cities were like not abandoned per se, but just very much less activity than you would expect for such a big city. Like while the pandemic was going on, I was still living in a small city. Not that to say that the city I live in now is like huge, but Denmark standards is huge. It's a big city in Denmark compared to everything else, especially my prior city. But at that time it was like, I would say that my social life was not changed terribly much. Certain things were, but it was still a small city, so I never really got out anyway. But certain things changed, obviously. I do wonder what it would be like if we were forced back into a pandemic, into a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a, you know what I mean? Like lockdown. That's the word I was looking for. Into a lockdown again. Like hopefully not. you know, like it's mostly been managed, at least in Denmark. I know there's certain places where there's still problems with it, and yeah, but it's mostly been managed. I do wonder what it'd be like in a bigger city now. How that would feel. I don't know, but yeah, it would be interesting to see like what Tokyo looked like at that time, and if it was anything similar to this, how it would feel. I don't know. I do wonder. I also wonder, how Japanese people, especially Tokyoians, whatever you call people from Tokyo. I actually know, but you know, what do you feel about this game, and if it's accurate, or I'm sure certain things are definitely like you can definitely tell, but I wonder how much is accurate. You have to take some liberties, I'm sure, especially continuing scale, I feel a little bit bad about talking over the music, but I have to at some point. The credits. But there you go, I guess that's the end of the credits, it looks like. Finally. Took a while. I don't know if there's any post-credit stuff here. Yeah, like city sounds. I don't know if I can click anything. I'm gonna click something. Skip, it says. I don't know if I'm supposed to wait here. It's quieting down again. Guess we're just implying, hey, the CD is back to normal. your Sushigomo food that transforms into transmission beads. Of course, whatever that means. Well, it's going to be in your inventory when you start a new game and load a complete save file. Outfits, mouse, camera, frames, fillers, blah blah blah. You'll be carried over. Okay. New game plus stuff. One of most tips have been added to your inventory. Okay, Ghostwire Tokyo 3. I was like, that's the second one. Guess maybe we have that already. It's like a stamp. I see. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff you get. Yeah. I will save. Well, there you go. And so that's this. So this is like, I think it was like a visual novel or something. That's what I saw at some point. Like there's a visual novel, which I think that's it. I don't know, but it's not something I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be real. You know, it's interesting that that's a thing. You know, but like, yeah, not really what I'm into. Oh, you know, again, if I was more interested in the story, maybe I would, you know, want to check that out. But no, no. But yeah, that's Ghostwire Tokyo. It ended up being a pretty long series actually. I think we're like on 28th episode or something. Like, you know, because I wanted to do most of the side quests and stuff. That obviously meant that get this creature. The graphics haven't loaded in. There we go. Handgun. I'll show you how you say that. Hanagon? It's two N's, I have no idea. Enormous monster born from what remained of Hanya and the spiritual remnants of the puppets he created with his forbidden arts. I mean, some of these creatures are cool though, you know, these boss creatures. Like, look at this thing and spider and... yeah. Some of these are fun though, I will say. But again, I guess another thing is a lot of the enemies are, well, mostly just people. Like, look at all these people, you know. It's like, you have some fun ones, you know, like these guys, and you know, it's ghosts. But there's also like just a lady with the scissors. It's like a mermaid sort of thing. I feel like you could have got a little bit more interesting with some of them. Like, I don't know, you have all these yokai, and it's like, why not have some more that are more yokai-esque? But I know that I guess yokai and ghosts are different things in Japanese mythology, I guess. I'm not really sure how all that works, but it's like a different thing entirely, I guess. But yeah. So this transmission piece allows you to transmit souls on the spot without using a phone booth. Okay, that's a thing you can do. Also, there's music as well. It's interesting. But yeah, you know, if you want to, there's plenty more to get. Obviously, you know. There's so many collectibles, so many, you know, yokai and the Gisu statues and, you know, these yellow spots and all this stuff. I wouldn't even know where to begin fighting all the spirits. I feel like that would just be Tanuki surfing, yeah, of course. Like, I feel like the spirits are like not a thing that you would naturally do. I feel that you really have to commit to doing that, but you can still, you know, look around for all the other collectibles if you're that kind of person. You know, maybe maybe if I was just playing this on my own, I would dedicate some time to doing that, because it is fun to just run around. You know, they really make running around and stuff feel pretty good, and you can, you know, fly up and, you know, fly around from building to building, and yeah, you know. But I'm done. I've played enough of what I want to play with this game, and I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Is it my favorite game ever? No. Is it like a solid 10 out of 10? It's definitely that range, I feel, for me. Like a solid 10 out of 10. And I feel like that's what most people have rated it. I feel like this is probably like sitting around 7 out of 10 on Metacritic and stuff like that, you know. It definitely got that vibe of like, yeah, this is pretty good, but nothing like groundbreaking or amazing or, you know, anything like that. But I appreciate that, you know, as a dog. No, you need pets, dog. You need a pets and a treat. Here's some food.
ダメ
Can't end on a sad dog. How die? Anyway, but yeah, that's definitely where I feel like this game sits at, and you know, while it's you know, I was appreciated being a new IP, you know, especially like a big open world RPG, not RPG, but you know, big open world game like this is that's something you just throw out there, you know, typically. But yeah, I don't know how successful this was. I know that, you know, Tango GameWorks have had issues, you know. And but they were like bought out recently or something, I think, and I think they are doing okay with that, but I'm not really sure. Like that's what I heard, because you know they made I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's like the music fighting game sort of thing. That's very different. I keep forgetting the name of that game. Uh, didn't I play it on the channel for like one episode? I think I did, maybe. I don't know. I still have yet to actually fully play through that game, but it's one of those I keep wanting to play and I'm not doing it. That happens sometimes. Anyway, but like, yeah, like people really like that game though. You know, that game was light, but I don't think it sold well either and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. So it's always like, yeah. But I think they were like at least like bought or something, or like they were saved from bankruptcy or something. I think maybe, or I don't know what it was, but at least I think they are at least still existing. You know, it's always tough when you are a relatively small studio. You know, like you're like a not a AAA studio, but you are published by AAA studios. You know, this was published by Bethesda and everything. You know, so it's like you have that support monetarily, but you have to make your money back somehow. And you know, if you're not, then you know your studio is not gonna survive, and they expect something out of you. But I don't know. I just hope you're doing well, because the games are fun and interesting and, you know, different. Like, horror game, open world game, and fighting music thing. I don't even know. Beat 'em up. I guess not a fighting game, but beat 'em up. I guess I don't know what to call it. Anyway, very different vibes each time. You know, like even if this is technically supposed to be like a horror game in some sense, like ghosts are here, I guess. It just doesn't feel that way for sure. Like, you know, besides that one jump scare or two we have, but it's like, okay, sure. It feels more like a novelty than anything. Yeah. But yeah, you know, this was this game. I'm glad I checked it out, and you know, played it all the way through to the end. Maybe it wasn't the best Let's Play game. Like sometimes I feel like it was not suited for that. It's an open world game. Got all these things. This one is a outdraft one. I don't have any of those. I do. I want to use this more because it seems fun to just do this. You know, be in the air. Anyway. I wonder how high you can get. What's the highest point you can get to? Yeah. It's fun to just look around, you know. Yeah. Anyway. Nope. Got an achievement called Walking in Air. I guess I was in the air for a while or something. I don't know what that achievement is. But anywho. Alright. I gotta stop. This has been an hour. Like, this actually managed to get over an hour, which I didn't expect, honestly. But hey, you know, that's fine. Yeah. It's a interesting game, and I'm glad I played it, and now I'm moving on to something else. That's how it goes. That's how video games end. You just finish them and that's it. Sometimes. Well, I mean, not all of them. Sometimes you just post-game. But there's not really any post-game here. I didn't just explore more if you want to. But yeah, I'm rambling. I gotta stop. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.